Sakavidyale Acharani Anuruddhika Vikramatilaka. Good afternoon, dear children. Today's English lesson is based on some grammar activities in the 6th unit of your pupils book. First, I'm going to discuss what the determiners are and how they come in sentences. In the second part of the lesson, we'll be discussing some past paper questions that will help you to revise your knowledge on tenses. සුබ දවසක් දයාබර දරුවනි, අපි මුලින්ම determiners පිළිබඳව ඉගෙන ගනිමු. ඒ සඳහා ඔබගේ පෙළ පොතේ පිටු අංක 59ට පෙරලන්න. It's a dialogue between Minuri and Rizna. Let's listen to it.
Hi, where are you going? What's in that box you are carrying?
We are preparing for the drama competition. I'm taking some costumes for the actors.
What drama competition? Is your class organizing one?
No, not our class. It's the annual inter-house drama competition. The English Literary Association is organizing it. They conduct it every year.
Of course. Will there be many dramas?
There will be 4 dramas, one from each house.
What's the drama your house is performing?
The Caucasian Chalk Circle by the German playwright Bertolt Brecht.
How about the other houses?
One house is doing The Christmas Carol. Another, The Merchant of Venice. I think your house is performing Everyman.
I have read that play. Are you also acting?
Yes, of course.
Which character are you?
I'm Grusha, one of the main characters in the play. All the students are invited. Don't forget to come.
Definitely. I'd love to see it.
Well, I have to go. The others have been practicing since 8 o'clock.
Okay. If you need any help with the preparations, please let me know.
I sure will. Thanks.
Children, did you notice some of the words in the dialogue are in bold print? What are these words? They are determiners. These determiners always modify a noun, or they describe more about nouns. And determiners come before a noun or a noun phrase. Let's turn to page number 61 and see different types of determiners. Page 61, you can see examples of determiners. First, you can see the, and an. What are they? We call them articles. So, articles come under determiners. So, you can write them down, children. Our topic is determiners, and determiners modify nouns and they come before a noun. And now we are learning about different types of determiners. First type, articles. So articles can be of 2 types, definite articles and indefinite articles. Definite article is the word the. Indefinite is a and an. Second group, you can see the words given here. This, that, these and those. We call them demonstratives. Demonstrative determiners or demonstratives. These determiners point to particular noun. They describe the position of a noun. If it is closer to the speaker, we can use this and these. If it is far from the speaker, then we use that for singular noun and those for plural nouns. Next type, my, our, your, his, her, its, their. Such words come under possessives. Possessives. Next, you can look at the examples given here. 1, 2. Likewise, you can give numbers 3, 4, 5. Likewise. So you call them cardinal numbers. If it is first, second, third, fourth, then you call them ordinal numbers. O-R-D-I-N-A-L. Cardinal, C-A-R-D-I-N-A-L. These numerals, ordinals, cardinals, they also come under determiners. Next, which, what, whose. Such words, you call them interrogatives. Interrogatives. They are used with nouns to ask questions. For an example, what questions will be discussed today? Or which book do you like most? Whose pen is this? So likewise, these words can be used with nouns to ask questions. The next type, some, any, few, a little, much, many, more, most, several, all, half. These words describe a quantity or an amount. So we call them quantifiers. Q-U-A-N-T-I-F-I-E-R-S, quantifiers. They tell us how many or how much is being referred to. Quantifier, as name implies, expresses quantity. They can be used with countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Words like many, few, some can be used with countables. And words like a little, little, such words can be used with uncountable nouns. Next, each, every. You can use some other words also, either, neither. All these words come under distributive determiners. So, once again you can check them, children. We have under determiners, different types of determiners. We have articles, demonstratives, possessives, numerals. They can be of two types, cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers, interrogatives, quantifiers, and distributives. Now let's see how these determiners come in sentences. Now let's look at the dialogue once again and see how determiners are used there. I'm sure you can name these determiners now. Look at the first sentence. Minuri is asking, what's in that box? So, there she's pointing at the box. What's in that box? That. So, the word that is a demonstrative. Next, we are preparing for the drama competition. So, when you say the drama competition, so both Minuri and Rizna, they know about this competition. It's the definite article. Third one, some. It's a quantifier. What? Once again, it's an interrogative. Your, possessive. Our, another possessive. The, it's the article, the definite article. Then we have every. What is it? What type of determiner is that? Every, it's a distributive. Many, quantifier. For, what is it? It's a numeral, or you can say cardinal number. Each, it's a distributive determiner. What? Interrogative, your, possessive, the, once again an article, definite article, one, there it's a numeral, another quantifier, your, possessive, which, interrogative, it is used to ask a question. There you can see which character are you. So the determiner comes before a noun. They are which character to ask questions, and they come before nouns. Then once again, the is an article, all quantifier, any quantifier. Right, that's all. So they are in the dialogue. you can see determiners and you are able to identify the type of determiner there. So now let's do an activity based on determiners. Turn to page 61 once again. Activity 3. Can you identify the determiners in these sentences? Look at the first sentence. The vacation we spent in Nuwara was wonderful. The is the determiner there. Second sentence. My uncle works in that factory. So what are the determiners? My uncle. So my is a possessive. In that factory. That is the demonstrative. Third sentence. She is the lady I saw at the village market yesterday. So she is the lady. The is the article, definite article. At the village, again another definite article. Mr. Sumanasena can speak many languages. There, many is the quantifier. Which house is yours? Yours, a possessive. This work is very easy. So this is the demonstrative. Any child can do it. Any is the quantifier. Activity 4. Let's complete these sentences with the determiners. Here we have 7 words but only 5 sentences. That means there are 2 extra words. So what word can be used in the first sentence? There are many books on agriculture in the library. I'm sure you can find what you need. Or you can say there are many books or there are a few books. There are a few books on agriculture in the library. I'm sure you can find what you need. So there, for the first blank, you can use many or a few. Second sentence, I would like a glass of milk. A can be used. Aren't there any mangoes in the basket? Any is the word. Only these seats are available for the show. Only these. These is the demonstrative. She brought her little brother to the concert. Her is the determiner. It's a possessive that you can use in this blank. Now I am referring to the questions that I shared with you. Question number 1. You have to use these words in your sentences. Many, much, some, any, a few, a little. How do you complete the first sentence? I don't want any presents for my birthday. Any is the answer. I don't want any presents. Second one, how many lessons have you completed? Lessons, it's a count noun. So, how many? We have the word much also. Much is used for uncountables. So, the word much is used in the third sentence. There was too much noise in the class. Noise is something which is uncountable. Noise is something which cannot be counted. It's an uncountable noun. So we use much there. There was too much noise in the class. Second sentence, how many books? So many is for countables, much is for uncountables. Fourth sentence, would you like more rice? What is the word? Would you like some more rice? Some more rice. Next, she has invited friends to her party. So what is the answer? She has invited a few friends to her party. A few friends. That means some. A few means some. Next sentence, there is still a little work to do. A little work to do. Work is once again an uncountable. So we use a little. There is a little work to do. That means there is some work to do. We have some work to do. There is a little work to do. So now children, let's learn the difference between a few and few. A little and little. For that also let's do another activity. Activity number 2. Before we do this activity, let's once again learn the difference between a few and few, a little and little. A few means some, not many, but it gives a positive number. I have a few books. That means you have a small number of books, which is enough for you. But when you say few, that means hardly any. A few කියන අර්ථය සුළු ප්‍රමාණයක්, නමුත් එය ප්‍රමාණවත්. Few කියන්නේ සුළු ප්‍රමාණයක්, නමුත් එය ඊටාම අඩුයි. In the same way, a little is used with uncountable words. And a little means a very small amount, but it is enough. It gives a positive amount. Whereas little means hardly any. If you say, I have a little money so that I can buy something new, that means with the amount of money you can buy something. That amount is enough to buy a new item. But when you say, I have little money, so I cannot afford to buy a new one, new dress, that means you do not have enough money. You do not have enough money. So now let's do the activity. First one, I have a little water left. There is enough to share. So you have enough water, but the amount is very small. So you can say, I have a little water. There is enough to share. So a small amount, but that is enough. Then you use a little. Second one, he has little education. He cannot read or write. There, the word little implies that he has hardly any knowledge. That is why he cannot read or write. Third one, if you need more information, I can lend you a few books. There you can see a few books, some books, and a few is used with countables. Next, there are few programs on television that I want to watch. So I prefer reading a book. So the meaning is you don't have any interesting TV program. That's why you prefer reading a book. So there are few programs. That means hardly any program. Program එකක් ඇත්තෙම නැති තරම්. Few. A few means තරමක්. Few means නැති තරම්. A little is also the same. ප්‍රමාණය තරමක ප්‍රමාණයක්. Little means තියෙන ප්‍රමාණය නැති තරම් කියන අර්ථය. Look at this example. Let's go out and eat something. I have a little money. There I have a little money. Next, sorry, I have little money. I can't afford to buy anything. Second sentence, I have little money. That's why he says, sorry, I cannot afford to buy anything. Activity 3. We have to use words like each, every, either, neither, and both. Using these words, let's complete the sentences. Number 1, every child needs love and care. Answer for the blank is every. Number 2, the teacher talked to each student before they left the classroom. In the first sentence, it's every child. Every, we use the word to talk about things collectively as a group. Whereas the word each is used to talk about individual members of a group. as separate items. Every සියලු දෙනාම සෑම දෙනෙක්ම කියන අර්ථය. each යන වචනෙන් අදහස් කරන්නේ තනි පුද්ගලයා යන අර්ථයයි. The teacher talked to each student. එක් සිසුන් කියන අර්ථයයි. Third sentence, she can have either tea or coffee. Fourth one, he will neither come here nor send a representative. He will neither come here nor send a representative. Last one, we can both be there when he arrives. So that's about determiners.
දාදා පස්වරු 2:30 සිට පස්වරු 3:30 දක්වා අධ්‍යයන පොදු සහතික පත්‍ර සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ ඉංග්‍රීසි විෂය. කොළඹ විසාකා විද්‍යාලයේ ආචාර්යනී අනුරුද්ධිකා වික්‍රමතිලක. වෙළඳ සේවය 94.3 94.5 දිවයින පුරා.
Know about tenses. Page number 62. The simple present tense. We use the simple present tense to talk about habitual actions. Example, they conduct the drama competition every year. So every year, as a practice, they conduct these competitions. So we use simple present tense. The present continuous tense. The present continuous tense is used for an action happening at the moment of speaking. One example, I'm taking some costumes for the actors. So I'm taking. So it's happening at this moment. The present perfect tense. The present perfect tense is used for past actions which are connected to the present. I have read that play. I have read that book. So you have done it in the past, but it has some connection to the present. And present perfect we use has or have and past participle. Next, the present perfect continuous. That is for actions that began in the past and are still happening. Example, the others have been practicing since 8 o'clock. The others have been practicing. You can use has or have and then been and ing form. And you can use since or for. The others have been practicing since 8 o'clock. Or you can say the others have been practicing for 3 hours. Let's do activity 5. Have you been to Trincomalee? The question is, have you been? So the answer should be, no, I haven't. Haven't is the answer. How long does it usually take to get there by bus? How long does it usually take to get there by bus? Here it says usually. So it's a habitual action. So we have to use simple present. How long does it usually take? Next one, you, and there is a blank, since early morning. So since early morning, since is there and it's happening at this moment also. Started in the morning and happening at this moment also. So it's present perfect continuous. So how do you use present perfect continuous? You have been studying. You have been studying since early morning. Tisuri is a good friend of mine. I have known her since childhood. I have known her since childhood. Fourth one, I am going to the library. Would you like to come with me? I am going to the library. Fifth one, the southwest monsoon usually a habitual action, usually brings a lot of rain. Sixth one, my brother blank, within brackets we have the word study, hard for an examination these days. The action is happening these days. When we have these days, it gives us an idea about the tense. Something is happening these days. So it's present continuous. We will have to have a present continuous tense here. My brother is studying hard for an examination these days. That's the answer. Now let's do some past paper questions. Year 2012, question number 11. Let's read the instructions. Fill in the blanks using the correct form of the verb given within brackets. The first one is done for you. When you get a question like this, to use the correct verb form, you have to read the given sentence or the paragraph carefully, because you can easily find words that determine the tense. Look at the first sentence here. Mr. Piyasena blank ride his bicycle to work every day, even on rainy days. So, the word every day determines the tense. What is it? When you say every day, it's a habitual action. So, there should be simple present tense. So, we have to find the simple present tense verb of the word given within brackets. The word given within brackets is the word ride. So, what is the simple present tense? Rides. Mr. Piyasena rides his bicycle to work every day. Second sentence, he has loved bikes ever since he blank, within brackets we have the word give, his first bicycle by his father on his 5th birthday. We can see that this is a passive voice sentence. Look at the last part of it. By his father on his 5th birthday. That means on his 5th birthday, his father gave him a bicycle. So, what is the passive voice sentence? He, within brackets you have the word give. So, it has to be he has loved bikes ever since he was given his first bicycle by his father. He was given. Passive voice, and it's past tense because it's given on his 5th birthday. So you can determine the time. On his 5th birthday, it's past tense. And since this is passive voice, give, it has to be given, was given. He was given the first bicycle by his father on his 5th birthday. Next, when he becomes 50 years old this year, he, within brackets, ride a bicycle for 45 years. What is the tense there? He will become 50 years this year. And he will have ridden a bicycle for 45 years. You can say he will have ridden a bicycle. What is that tense, children? He will have ridden, it's future perfect tense. Future perfect tense structure is will, have and past participle. Here the word base verb is ride. Past participle is ride, past tense is rode, R-O-D-E, and past participle is ridden, R-I-D-D-E-N. According to the future perfect structure, this has to be will have ridden. We have to know why we should use future perfect here. Look at the sentence once again. When he becomes 50 years old, he will have ridden a bicycle for 45 years. The action will be completed, the action will be finished in the future. The future perfect tense is used to express an action which will have completed in the future. දරුවනේ future perfect tense මගින් කියවෙන්නේ යම් කිසි සිදුවීමක් ක්‍රියාවක් අනාගතයේ යම් මොහොතකදී සම්පූර්ණ වෙනවා කියන එකයි. අපි නැවතත් future perfect tense structure එක බලමු. Will, have and past participle. Let's take some examples. We will have done the O-level examination by the end of December. What is the meaning? We will have done the O-level examination by the end of December. අපගේ O-level විභාගය දෙසැම්බර් මාස අවසන් වෙනකොට කරලා නිම කරන්න පුළුවන්. We will have completed the examination by the end of December. We will have completed. Another one. She will have got a new job by next month. එන මාසය වෙනකොට ඇයට අලුත් රැකියාවක් ලැබිලා තියෙයි. So the action, the event will take place in future. She will have got a new job by next month. We will have completed all our work before the exam. Before the examination, we will have completed all the activities in the book. Or we will have studied everything before the examination. විභාගයට කලින් සියලුම දේවල් අපි පාඩම් කරලා අවසන් වෙයි. We will have completed. We will have studied everything. We will have studied everything before the examination. So that's future perfect tense. Let's look at the next one. Sometimes people ask Mr. Piasena why he does not use a car. We have not use, so the correct tense is why he does not use a car. I'm not sure, he says. In a car, I do not get the feel of the wind or the sun on my face. When I am, so it's present continuous. I am is there, so it has to be working. When I am working in my office, I have to sit inside a room for about 8 hours of the day. So I prefer blank, ride is the word. I prefer riding, or you can say I prefer to ride. Prefer to ride or prefer riding is the answer. So I prefer to ride or I prefer riding my bike to work and feel the wind on my face rather than driving a car. Now, question number 13 of the 2015 paper. Use the correct form of the verb to complete the dialogue. The first one is done for you. So you run a fundraising campaign for poverty alleviation. Your name was mentioned several times at the meeting yesterday. There the word yesterday is there and it's past tense and passive voice. Your name was mentioned several times at the meeting yesterday. It's given as an example. So let's check the answers from number 2. I'm here to discuss a new project we blank within brackets launch very soon. When we see the phrase very soon, we know that it's in future tense. So we can say I'm here to discuss a new project we are launching, will be launching, we will launch. We can use one of those phrases to indicate the future tense. Next, tell me about what you blank within brackets do so far. So far, up to now. then it's present perfect. Tell me about what you have done so far. Have done so far is the answer. Well, the unemployed youth in our area blank provide with opportunities to be self-employed. So, it's very clear it's a passive voice sentence. The unemployed youth in our area have been provided with opportunities to be self-employed. Present perfect passive voice, have been provided. I'm happy to say most of them blank within brackets earn a living now and are settled in life. What is the word which gives us the idea of the tenses? The word now. The word now says it's present tense. We can say, I am happy to say, most of them earn a living now. Or you can say, most of them are earning a living now. Next. Women to blank within brackets give a helping hand last year to begin a cottage industry of their living. So what is the tense? Last year. So it shows this is in the past tense. Last year. And is it active or passive? When you read it carefully, you can understand that it's passive voice. Women too were given a helping hand last year to begin a cottage industry of their living. Once again, check it. Women too were given a helping hand last year. The next question, it's an email. This is an email Shani has received from her friend Dinu. Read it and fill in the blanks with the correct form of the verbs given within brackets. Dear Shani, I've just received your email. It was so nice to hear from you. Well, I, first blank, within brackets you have the word be. When you have the be word, what are the other words that you can form? Am, is, are, was, were, has been, have been, had been. Such words can be formed out of the be form. So what is the appropriate word for this blank? Look at the sentence. Well, I, blank, in the new school now. The word now gives us the idea. That means it's present simple. So what is the correct verb? I am. Well, I am in the new school now. Am is the answer. I am not settled yet. On the first day, I, second blank, want. Within brackets, you have the word want to go back home. So, on the first day, that's a past event. So, it should be simple past. On the first day, I wanted to go back home. Wanted is the answer. But my mother said that it, third blank, within brackets, take some time for me to get adjusted. So within brackets you have the word take. But my mother said that it would take some time. It's indirect voice. My mother said that it would take some time for me to get adjusted. On the first day itself, we, fourth blank, within brackets, give rooms in the hostel. What is it? On the first day, once again, a past incident. We, rooms, we were given. We were given rooms. It's passive voice, past tense. We were given rooms in the hostel. I share a room with two other girls. My school usually, fifth blank, within brackets, start at 9 a.m. and closes at 3 p.m. So, my school usually, the word usually gives us the idea that it's simple present. So my school usually starts. Fifth one, starts. And this is not quite what I'm used to. After school, we do a lot of extracurricular activities. Everybody in my class, sixth blank, once again a B form. So children, you know, when you have words like everybody, everything, each, they are considered as singular nouns. So the verb should be also in the singular form. So here, everybody in my class, within brackets you have the be form. So what is the appropriate word? Is. It's not are, it's is. Everybody in my class is so nice and kind. I'm now interested in seventh blank. Within brackets you have the word study, music and literature. So I'm now interested in. When you have the word in, the verb form can be in ing form. Interested in studying music, studying. I'm now interested in studying music and literature. By the way, you had asked about the places of interest in this country. If I find some pictures, yes, it's a conditional sentence. If I find some pictures, I will attach them in my next email. We are having a hockey match this weekend, but yesterday my friends, so yesterday, past. So yesterday my friends, ninth blank, within brackets decide. So yesterday my friends, it has to be in the past. My friends decided. Decided is the answer. Decided to go for a walk instead. I wish you, 10th blank, within brackets you have the be form here. So I wish, how do you complete that sentence? I wish you were here. I wish you were here. What is the meaning, children? In අර්ථවත් වෙන්නේ මම ඔබ මෙහි හිටියා නම් කොච්චර හොඳද කියලා හිතනවා. I wish you were here. It's an imaginary wish. It's a wish, but it is something imaginary. හිතෙන් මවනවා ඔබ හිටියා නම් කොච්චර හොඳද කියලා. ඒ වගේ වෙලාවකදී අපි මෙහෙමයි වාක්‍යයක් ලියන්නේ. I wish you were here. How do you say? මම හිතනවා මම ඉතා දක්ෂ වුණා නම් කියලා. It's a wish. It's something imaginary. I wish I were cleverer. I wish I were cleverer. Let's take some more examples. මම හිතනවා මම මීට වඩා ටිකක් උස වුණා නම් හොඳයි කියලා. It's a wish. I wish I were taller. I wish I were taller. We can't have subject verb agreement there. Usually we say with I am or I was. But here, according to this grammar structure, it has to be I wish I were taller. I wish I were prettier. I wish I were fairer. I wish I were cleverer. So they are imaginary things. And here also you can say, I wish you were here. Please give my regards to your parents. Lots of love, Dinu. With that, we have reached the end of our lesson. Today you have learnt about determiners and discussed several questions related to tenses. Now it's time for today's question. I am giving you a sentence. You have to identify the determiner in that sentence and mention its type. Children, your answer has two parts. Mention the determiner and its type. දරුවනි මම ඔබට දෙන වාක්‍යයේ ඇති ඩිටර්මිනර් එක හඳුනාගෙන එය අයත් වෙන කාණ්ඩය නම් කරන්න. ඔබේ පිළිතුරේ කොටස් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. පළමුවෙන්ම ඩිටර්මිනර් එක නම් කරන්න, දෙවනුව එය අයත් කාණ්ඩය නම් කරන්න. This is the sentence. These books are very expensive. These books are very expensive. Name the determiner and its time. Well, that's all for today. Goodbye. Stay safe.
බදාදා පස්වරු 2:30 සිට පස්වරු 3:30 දක්වා අධ්‍යයන පොදු සහතික පත්‍ර සාමාන්‍ය පෙළ ඉංග්‍රීසි විෂය. කොළඹ විසාකා විද්‍යාලයේ ආචාර්යනී අනුරුද්ධිකා වික්‍රමතිලක. වෙළඳ සේවය 94.3 94.5 දිවයින පුරා.